Hello, fellow War Thunder players and Gaijin staff. This is Gamer1745, and today we're going to take a look at the Panzer and its possible roles within War Thunder. But before we do that, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, give the channel a like, and of course, at any time, post comments below your thoughts on this or other ideas for improving War Thunder. Right. The Pz.Bef.Wg. These are command tanks in the German army. There are two of them currently in the game, both premiums. One, the Pz.Bef.Wg.J here, and the other is the Pz.Bef.Wg.VI P, the Porsche Tiger. But we're going to get to those in just a moment. My main suggestion for those who don't want to watch all the way through to the end of the video is give these vehicles scouting. The German ranks, or the rank system here for rank 3, rank 4 has the only scouting vehicle is this post-war M41 American, which unless I'm playing post-war vehicles, I don't want to play it, and it's all the way up at the 6.3 already. So neither of these tanks are fast. In fact, both of these Pz.Bef.Wagons are slow. But if you could give them scouting, it would give the Germans more scouting ability in this BR. But let's take a look at what a Pz.Bef.Wagen is and its roles. This is one of the, not this particular one, but is one of the earliest Pz.Bef.Wagons. It's the Pz.Bef.Wagen 1, the Panzer 1, of course, with just one single machine gun instead of two, but no turret. And this is set up as a command tank. The main thing that it has is radios over the standard Panzer 1s, and obviously lacking a turret in this case. But the firepower, well, this looks like an MG34. Most of them had MG13, or is it MG15? Sorry, correct me below, MG15 or MG13. I think MG15 below as the duals, but that looks like a 34. So I'm not sure if somebody knows. They can post below. So these are command tanks. They have radios. This is starting out purpose-built with it, but a lot of the Pz.Bef.Wagons were conversions, sometimes maybe in the field or sometimes purpose-built in the factory, like the Pz.Bef.Wagen 4. Here is a Pz.Bef.Wagen. This is the Martyr 3, and all they've done, this is of course a model, though I have seen a photo of one of these, is remove the ammo racks, which you can see over here, remove them from this side and added radios, more radios. The loader generally becomes the radio operator as an, I don't know, primary or additional duty. Now this is not, its primary job is a command vehicle, but in no way to think that this is not also a frontline combat vehicle, or you wouldn't stick a freaking PaK-40 in one of these things, because they did make versions of this as just a munition schlepper, mostly attached to the ones that had the 150 millimeter infantry gun mounted instead of the PaK-40, just to carry ammo. They didn't have any weapons on board. It was just an ammo carrier, munition schlepper. And so you could have just, if for some reason, for sameness of automotive and support elements, just use a munition schlepper and put radios in it if it wasn't meant to fight. But that's sort of its secondary purpose, if you will, is to fight. Its sort of primary purpose is to command the unit. So it's calling out enemy targets to your fellow units in your immediate command structure, whether tank platoon, tank company, Panzerzug in the German sense, or to other supporting close by units. So it has additional radios to talk on additional frequencies and often at additional ranges. This is a role that is very much a frontline role in the German army, unlike other armies, to keep the command staff up in the front, in the lead, and for a coordinating element of battle. And so we can see that coordinating role be played out in War Thunder as spotting. Now, this is not to be, and I renamed this, to be mistaken with this role of the Panzer Beau-Bat-Tung-Wagen. Germans say they have fun laughing at my accent of pronouncing the word, so have fun with that. Now, this is a conversion of a Panzer III. You can see the guy there resting his hand on a fake gun barrel, which they've removed the whole machine gun and just put on a, which is missing in this photo here, a machine gun ball mount here, and maybe even fix the turret in place so that it doesn't rotate. I'm not sure on this model. And this is an artillery spotting vehicle. By removing of the gun barrel, it very much was not meant to fight at all, but it was meant because of its armor, because you can see the additional front armor that has been added to this vehicle at some stage, quite likely before it was converted to a forward observing tank, but maybe not. This is to call in artillery. Probably just a vehicle that calls in artillery, and he maybe even gets it easier, faster than normal War Thunder. Probably isn't worth putting in the game, so I'm not advocating for this type of thing in the game, but this is different. It is a frontline role, but it is not a combat role. So we can look here. This would be a very good option to give these vehicles. They generally had, let's just see here, how many rounds? 75, yes. And we can just jump over here and not showing me quickly easy. But generally speaking, they had fewer rounds. Yes, I know this is a bit of a hiccup here. Fewer rounds in the tank to be able to hold the additional radios. Like I say, the loader becomes an additional radio operator as opposed to just the whole mounted machine gunner. And we can see here the plethora of late war, 3 of them, late war, or 4 of them with that. German radio antennas. They have long since given up the tubular wireframe radio antennas as being too easy to spot on the battlefield. So that would give this vehicle a much better role. I don't think it would necessitate a higher BR, but put them out here as a command vehicle spotting for the Germans here. There we go. And so you could readily bring this up onto the field in a maybe even a fully covered position, and just use your binoculars, theoretically out of the commander's hatch, and spot enemies. And then when the time is right, pull out and kill something, certainly, but it would be a cool and practical addition. So, players, what do you think? I know these are both premium vehicles. It would also, I'd love to see the late model Marder III, whether as a premium or not, whether as a Pz.Bef.Wg.IV version or not. I'd love to see that in the game. It should be a faster Marder III because they were lighter vehicles than the earlier ones. Sort of think the Flak Panzer 38 type speed, because that's what you just simply sort of a little more gun shield and put a Pak 40 on top of one of these things. So that could be put into the game. But yeah, definitely premiums. Definitely not your average vehicles. But I'd love to see them in the game and could make things more fun without, in my opinion, unbalancing gameplay. But love to hear your thoughts. See you on the battlefield.